We will practice what we heard yesterday. The very first step to meditation is to be soul conscious. So we will practice for a few minutes right now. Sit back and relax yourself. Just let your mind go with the thoughts that I give you. I have taken out this time to spend some moments of silence. And in this silence, I'm learning to talk to myself and gently reminding myself of who I truly am. I'm just a point of light behind my forehead. I am the life energy which gives life to this body. I'm a conscient energy where I experience sorrow, happiness. I'm a divine, eternal, imperishable soul. And this body is my car. I'm a peaceful soul, a loveful soul, and a powerful soul. I, the soul, am able to perform actions through this body. I am the one who understands, decides, and experiences. I am a soul. Om Shanti. Let's start. So, did you get any emails? Any questions? No. Okay. So, because you're clear about yesterday's class, I'll continue with the next one today. The second step in meditation. I hope you all did the 3 homeworks that I gave you yesterday about how you need to go about the day. Okay. we stopped at a point where we're thinking, can you get that more up? But how we are all souls, and we have our own specific sanskaras. And so the question here is about how do we, transform these sanskaras, because it has such a great impact on our thoughts, and our actions, and our behavior, in our interactions. So our whole personality is the reason of how we are with the world, basically. So that is why it's important that I understand how these sanskaras work and how they can be, transformed. If I were to just take a thought that, I want to transform myself in the sense that, I don't want to get angry, or I don't want to overreact, or I don't want to get stuck in the past, how much ever I take a thought, but at the given time, I might just forget it, and, I can get, carried away by emotions and that present situation and feelings and all that. So time and time again, everyone has this experience where they take these resolutions and then they see it doesn't happen. Because as I mentioned yesterday, these sanskars are very deep rooted. If one talk or reading a book or attending a or maybe motivational sessions or something can change you. No, those sanskaras don't change like that. You need power. And how much ever counseling or anybody can sit and tell you temporarily, yeah, some little bit of a transformation externally you would be able to experience, because you get that attention, you get that understanding, and you feel the need to change. So there would be some, and that would be temporary again, and for some time, and afterwards again the same thing. So that's exactly why it's important to build strength. And who can give me that strength? Is a question now. Because people keep talking about, strength in the sense of the body. But yesterday we discussed, we're not talking about the physical strength. We're talking about the spiritual strength. Anything to do with the soul is spiritual. What is spirituality? Study of the soul, about yourself. What is happening within yourself, how you're thinking and what you're deciding and how you put into action. All this is the study about the self. Now, how do I get spiritual strength? As I mentioned, people are able to give me guidance, direction, support, understanding, but not strength. So there should be someone who can, I can get strength from, that someone would be totally full, so much full, that they can keep giving me and not become empty. But now in this world, it's very difficult for someone to continuously give you and then not take anything from you, or not expect anything from you. That's very difficult. That's actually not difficult, it's impossible. So someone should keep giving me continuously, and that person should not become empty, and I should not give anything to that person. I don't have to give anything to that person. That is when I can become stronger. So who is that one who can continuously give me and not take anything back from me? And there would be the guarantee that he can give me continuously. Absolute guarantee. It shouldn't be like, right now everything is going on fine and, it's working out. I met somebody and I said, this person is your best friend till now. He said, he laughed and said, till now. We don't know the future. We don't know what's going to happen the next day. We don't know what misunderstanding will come out. We don't know anything. We can't guarantee anything. Everything seems to be so transitional, so temporary. So Who can give me something constantly, constant respect, constant love, constant, what you call as understanding and gratitude, and I'll become stronger. No, there's nobody. That is reality. So when we understand that nothing works, nothing really works, and so then what do? There's nobody there. So you always look above and say, God, please help me. I haven't met him. I have been told that, he can resolve a lot of things. Some of you would have not had any experience also with God, though you do have respect for him. You do believe that, he can do a lot of miracles and magic for you. And it is good to believe in him, and that's something that we grow up with. Whether through, some rituals, whether through some sort of understanding of scriptures, or whether through some sort of activities that you think this is how God is, and this is a kind of what you call as a attainment that you get from him. But no attainment is possible until unless you know someone personally and you spend some time with that person and know that person. The rest is not considered attainment. Because something that we just imagine as something like this, God can do this, but that's just a belief. When you imagine something, that is a belief. When you experience it, it is faith. What you imagine is always on the basis of what people have told you, what you've read about it, and what people have discussed about God and the religion that you're born into. So that creates a certain amount of what you call as imagination, or what you would say is some sort of belief that it be possible. But the problem with belief has been, everybody's watching nowadays, the main problem in belief is that it's again transition. Anything temporary is not the truth. If I call you by some other name, let's say your name is Kalpana, and I call you Madhuri, you would not respond to it. And even if I would tell you, no, your name is not Kalpana, your name is Madhuri only, you say, sister, no, my name is not Madhuri, my name is Kalpana. But then I'll keep on saying, no. I said, okay, it's a wish, you think whatever you want, but I know what the truth. Because you experience it, you're born with it. You've written your name in so many certificates in so many places. That's one thing you since you've become conscious about yourself, what your name is. That doesn't change unless you decide to change the name. But that you have that faith. Belief is something I'm not really sure about. But because someone I respect is telling me, I think I need to believe it. So beliefs come in so many forms and shapes. It's like, oh, you go there and you worship there and you do this ritual, and then you put this taviz and you put this stone, apple stone, or you go to this mandir, or you go and do the parikrama there, then you get the visa for this country, or you become successful. If you worship this one, you get a lot of money. These are what we call as beliefs. Because 100% there has not been the same results for everyone. There are a lot of people who worship Lakshmi every Diwali, but they've not become wealthy. In fact, they would have become bankrupt also. I know a lot of people who do a lot of Lakshmi Puja calling everybody around. Not been successful. So the thing is, I'm not saying that it is wrong to worship, but I'm saying, what is the foundation? Is it belief in God, or is it faith? Belief doesn't require a lot of information, a lot of logic, a lot of clarity. You don't need to know the biography of Lakshmi, who she really is, where she is really, what did she do really. I don't have to know. Whatever has been written, I'll read it and say, well, let's go. And if somebody says Lakshmi, she secretly did this and she was this also. So you will believe it, because belief doesn't require any information. It could be a story, I'll believe it. But faith requires a lot of knowledge, clarity, direction. Something which is not questionable, something which is that anybody would understand. You take the concept of Lakshmi, when I was in the US, there were a lot of children who are not going to the temple, and they're making a whole, hue and cry about it. They don't want to go to the temple. They're all Indians, but they're born there. So they refuse to go. So the parents are worried, they don't want to come to the temple. So, so you should ask them why they don't want to. So they said, they have a class there where they tell all the stories of Mahabharata. The children are saying, we don't want to listen to those stories. They don't make any sense. So the parents said, oh, you can't say that. That's wrong to say that, it doesn't make sense. That's insulting your own religion. So I asked them, they could pose a question, whatever questions they have, they didn't understand, or they feel it is just not right, they could write it down and let me know. Maybe I can answer them. So one boy who's about 7, he wrote among all of them who wrote different questions, is one of them. One boy who's 8, he wrote a question. How is Lakshmi not drowning in the water when she's standing on a lotus flower? Very funny, isn't it? And we would just smile. But then what's the answer really? No, you shouldn't ask such questions. How it's not about standing on the no, but she's shown standing on the lotus flower, and how come she didn't drown? There's a question there. Oh, logical, very logical. He doesn't want that understanding that, she would always sit there. That is her asan, that is her seat. Well, how come doesn't she have any other seat? But why she's sitting there in the water? Now, let me tell you. Lotus represents something that stays in murky waters, but yet detached and untouched by the dirt. That is a concept of lotus flower. So when they show her standing on that lotus flower or sitting on this lotus flower, means that she's made herself such that she lives among negativity, surrounded by, all negative attitudes, but she's unaffected by that. Due to which she is able to be successful in any obstacle, and she becomes the goddess of wealth. So if you keep getting affected, I know somebody, he's in stock exchange, he gives advice, he keeps giving advices in stock, and he says, even during recession and all that, he never lost money. And I said, how is it possible? I mean, he had invested such huge amounts in so many different places. How he could manage not to become, lose money? He says, sister, I don't become greedy. I just leave it. I don't keep checking every day. When you're not greedy, he says, your wealth grows. And that's what the image of Lakshmi, Sri Lakshmi is showing. So that's what I'm trying to say. When you have knowledge, there is faith. When there is logic, there's clarity. So let me understand God logically, not by all these different ways and different thoughts that people talk about, and and what all the stories that we be hearing without knowing the meaning behind it. So I don't want to go into the details of blind faith, because that's very prominent, and it is really growing now. And the more the fear, the more the sorrow, the more the desires, the more the methods. A lot crooked methods, a lot of crooked ways to deceive and to get caught up in and to get lost in. So there's so much. And there's a whole, what you call as a roller coaster there, and beliefs with a lot of money involved, and being subservient to people instead of God. So this is a whole lot of thing going on there. So let's not get into that. Let's just focus on the faith that I need to develop. So I need to know God. What is logical? that if I have to really understand anything, the most logical aspect would be that it should be universal, isn't it? It cannot be just limited to one thing in one place. Holy is not universal, but a chair is, a table is, geography is universal. You cannot um, what you call as challenge it. You can't challenge latitude, longitude, and equator. You cannot say no, in Africa it is different and in America it's different. No, all of the world is the same thing. There's logic, there's understanding, this is universal. So because it is universal, it is education. Because it is universal, it is the truth. Same way, God is universal. There's nowhere in this world where people don't talk about whether they believe, whether they don't, or whether they have faith, they don't, but they talk about it. And a lot of people say, भगवान बैठा है तो वही कर रहा है, भगवान ही तो है सब कुछ. That is true, but then at the right time, at the right situation, do I experience His help? So when you come to this universal aspect of God and how He is known all over the world, but I really have to know what everybody is talking about. So something which is universal is common among everyone. You can understand from that point. It's common. So what are those aspects that are common and agreed upon by everyone in this world about God? There's absolutely no controversy, no contradiction. This is, everybody would say, yeah, we agree with this point. Let us start from there. Why too complicated? Let's start from somewhere that we are all in one line, one level of agreement. We are able to see eye to eye about. Yeah. They say universally what has been spoken about God, and everybody is in agreement with. The first aspect being, they say that God is highest on high. God is highest on high in the sense that there is no one higher than Him. There is no one that He calls out to. So He is the highest on high in the sense that He's the only one who can give and doesn't take. That is why He's said to be the highest on high. In a family, mother and father are highest on high because they give. This is the head of the family. The father is the head of the family. He'll earn for them. He'll take care of them. He'll educate them. He will guide them. He will take care of their health, wealth, happiness. Giver. So he's considered to be the mother and father for this whole world, for all the souls of this world. So he's the father of all souls. That is why in Christianity they say God, Father. In Islam they say Allah Ta'ala. Ta'ala means the highest one. In Hinduism they say Param Pita Paramatma. Param Pita, it is Father. Everyone is in agreement with this, that He is the only one who is a giver. Even our national anthem, if you hear properly, so, Jana Gana Mana. It describes the greatness of God, the one who creates the fortune, the ones who give, the one who gives. So praise be for the one who makes this country beautiful. It is not praising the land. The whole song is not of praising India, but the one who's creating the fortune, Bhagya Vidata, the one who's creating the fortune for this country. Praise be for Him. And everybody's singing that. So that means to say He's always the one. We praise those who always give. They've contributed something, then we praise. Even if a company, the chairman has contributed something, they keep praising him. He's such a wonderful person. He's opened this country, he's opened this company, and he's given employment to so many people. Anybody who gives is praised. But the one who can give and not take anything is only God. The rest will give, but they also take. Something they take. No? So that's why the highest praise is of God. This is the first point. Highest on high. The second point is God is someone who is beyond. Beyond in the sense that he's beyond life, death, sorrow, happiness, human experiences. Like, like how we have different experiences and what the way we think and what we do. He's beyond human experience altogether. He's not a human being. Now, if he were to have death, if God would have death, then in every religion they say remember God when they're dying, when they have disease. If he also has disease and sorrow, then we would be calling out. Why should we be calling out in disease and sorrow? He's beyond that. He's beyond death. He's beyond disease. He's beyond all human experiences. So that's why they say he's beyond. Sarva se pare is beyond. Okay, everybody agrees. They say, even people say, oh, God knows. They say God knows for everything. What happened? God knows. So the third point is about how God knows. There's everything that he knows. There's nothing that he doesn't know. He's knowledgeable. In Islam, the Quran is written, there's nothing that you would not know. You would know everything under the sun. So there's nothing that he doesn't know. There is a sect called Sufism. They sing praise of God, very beautiful songs that they sing, Sufi singers. And in that, they describe God in the sense that if you turn the whole ocean on this earth into ink, all the trees on this earth into pens, all the land on this earth into paper, and you'll still not be able to write the knowledge that he has within him. So he's knowledgeable. There's nothing that he doesn't know. So there's no human being who can be compared to him in his knowledge, in knowledge. You would not know because he is beyond, no? So when you are within the limitations of time, space, matter, sound, you're limited. Especially when you have a body, you're limited. You can't right now, lockdown, of course, we can't even go any country. That's the impossible. Yeah. So even if there was no lockdown, you just can't go to America and Europe and everything for a drop of the hat at any time. No, you can't. There's limitations are there. Financially, time management, so many things we have to look into, responsibilities. Yeah. So the thing is, God is beyond all that. So that's exactly why he's very knowledgeable. He knows more. He knows a lot and is an ocean of knowledge. The fourth aspect is that God is someone that is like an ocean. There's a very old Hindi song in Hindi movies, Hindi old song. Tu pyar ka sagar hai, ek boond ke pyase hum. You are the ocean of love and we are thirsty for a drop of it. So he's an ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of happiness, ocean of purity, ocean of mercy, ocean of all qualities that every human being seeks for. He's an ocean. He's compared to an ocean. He's not an ocean. He's compared to an ocean because it's unlimited. Now, if you were to go in front of the ocean and, you wouldn't understand how deep it is, how much it would stretch on to. You don't know really. Unlimited. When you can't reach out. So you can take lorries and lorries full of water. You can keep taking as much as you want. It'll never become empty, does it? No. The ocean is always there. So God is the one who's an ocean of all qualities. And the fifth final point about God is that God is someone that everybody agrees that he's God. Logic enough, sensible, because if he is a father and we're all his children, we should all be able to recognize him. We can't be, just because I'm born in one religion, that doesn't mean I'll have a different kind of outlook or a different kind of understanding about God. No, we should all have the same concept as God, isn't it? So if I have to know him, it's like it's said in Hindi, Sarva Dharma Manya. When all religions would agree that he's God, only then he's God. Because in all religions, his children are there, isn't it? So he doesn't appear different in each religion. No, he's the same. His reality is what he is. So he doesn't represent himself differently. Yes, praise can be different. Christianity is all about love. They praise God for his love. God is love. So the whole concept which derives from love is love thy neighbor, love thyself, have mercy, have good wishes, have forgiveness. It's all about love. Buddhism is all about non-violence. So that's the quality they take from God. So the different qualities that each religion takes from God, and they work on it and they practice it and they define him like that. We represent, in Hinduism, they represent qualities in different forms. Like, Lakshmi is wealth, there is Saraswati, which is, this knowledge, and there is Durga, which is courage. So we also represent different qualities through different images. Because here, it is divinity. Hinduism foundation is divinity, to get all the divine virtues in our lives. It's a way of life, it said, it is way of life. So how to bring it into life, all of that. So each one has a basic foundation and principle and quality on which it stands. So these are all bits and pieces about God. But we have to understand God as a whole, no? We have taken bits and pieces, everybody. And that's where all the different contradictions. We're talking about the same one. Like, remember the story when we were in a school? You remember? The story of an elephant in a room and all blind men. Was it 7 blind men? I don't know how many blind men. They're all blind men. They are, they are, what do you that called? Blindfolded. They're blindfolded, and they send them to the elephant. And then they touch the elephant, different parts, and they keep talking. They say, oh, this is this is that. So they define that huge elephant as so many different things. I don't remember what they tell, but they say, oh, this is some baby, or this is a cushion or something. They don't know what. They keep on describing the same thing in so many different ways. Same thing here. It is best that we understand, as I said, universal. So if we have to understand universally at this point of time, right now, every religion is talking so differently, and it's got into such expansion of it that the truth is somewhere lost. We don't know what it is. It's not about one religion to all religions, because it's been a while now. It's been a while. So we go to the origin of these religions, the beginning. Anything that begins is always perfect, isn't it? Anything you get, anything you start, whether it's education institution, whether it's a marriage, or whether it's a particular living in some place, or a thing, anything for that matter, everything seems perfect in the beginning. So we'll go to the origin of all religions then to really understand. Yeah, I'll show you a picture. Here we are. This is the picture, right? So now, yeah, this is fine. So if you see, there are the different religions that we're talking about. That is Sikhism, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, and then there is this Hinduism, right? So these are all the religions. And let us take into consideration first Jesus Christ and Guru Nanak. What did they say about God? So Jesus Christ, he said God is love. And then he described God to be light. He doesn't have a body. That's why if you see Christ is always showing like that he's only one and he's up above. He's not here. So he is light. God is light. When it comes to Islam, Guru Nanak, he said, Eko Omkar Satnam Akal. Again, he was also showing it one, that he's only one. You don't have any, one God. And Satnam Akal, he's the one who's the truth. And Akal, Kal means death. He doesn't have the experience of death. That means to say he never dies. That means to say he doesn't have a body. That's why Guru Nanak said, Nirakar, Nirahankar. He's the one who's incorporeal. He doesn't have a body and he is egoless. Nirvair, he doesn't have any enemies. Nirbhay, he has no fear. That's how they describe. When you have a body, then there is fear to protect yourself, you compare yourself to others, and so many things. So God doesn't have a body. That's what Guru Nanak also said. That is the teachings of Sikhism and of course of Christianity. When you come to Islam, there is the place in Makkah where they go, in the pilgrimage place here. There's an oval-shaped figure there if you see. It's an oval-shaped figure where they go and touch it. It is called the Sangha Eshwar. Sangha Eshwar means a piece of light. It seems Prophet Muhammad had an experience of God, who he truly is. And he described him to be like Noor. In Quran it's written, Khuda Noor-e Ilahi. Noor means light. And that's what they represented there. And the stone is like oval-shaped form. And it was red in one point. Now it's become black. They all touch it. It is called Sang. Eshwad means a piece of light. Again, the understanding of God is to be of light. And that's why they do not have any physical form, whether in mosque or whether in their description, or they don't have pictures framed in their house. It's always the pictures of Holy Quran teachings. Yeah. Then you come to Hinduism. In Hinduism, if you see, they're all the oldest temples: Rameshwaram, Pashupatinath, Vishwanath, Amarnath, and Somanath. They're all the oldest temples in India. And in these oldest temples, if you see, you'll understand that the very first worship, the very first what you call as temple was built in Somnath, that is in Gujarat. So the only form that you see in all these old temples are what you call as Shivling. Shivling is the only thing which is worshipped. There's no bodily form, no physical attributes, just the ling. Ling actually means akar, swarup, shape, form. That's what it means. So Shiv actually means, in very, very Shuddha Hindi, Shiv means Kalyankari, the one who is a benefactor. Another meaning for Shiv is, when people would write accounts in the olden days, they would write it down, and then in the end, they would write Shiv. Shiv does not mean, I'm just remembering Lord Shiva or something like that. No, Shiv means full stop. And how does a full stop look? Dot. The Shivling means, that is why they show the ling, that is the black background. And then there is the Shiv in between, that is the point of light. Point. That is, the oldest temples are called Jyotirlingas. Jyoti means light, Lingas means form. The one who's a form of light, and all the different temples which are there, where they don't show any face and body, nothing, just God as a point of light. So you understand all the religions, if you see, all the religions are pointing out to God to be a point of light. He's just a point of light. I understand it in a very, very logical and a simple way. Yesterday, we understood that we are all souls. And I, being a soul, I'm just the point of light. The point of light's father is also a point of light. All the soul's father is also a soul, but he is a supreme soul. There is a father who's given birth to this body. And the one whose name I have and the one I look like, the body looks like, is not the father of either soul. His father and my father, both of us, spiritual fathers, is God. We all have one common spiritual father and our own specific individual physical fathers. There's a difference, no? We have grown up in our life from our childhood, believing in certain concepts, certain rituals, certain principles. Let us clarify that to ourselves. We've been worshipping deities for years together, centuries together. Who are the deities? As I said, you should know who they are. There's nothing wrong in worshipping, but you should know who they are. It's good to have that, know that there is God, but then you should know him, na? Who he is. So here we come to the aspect about the deities and the great men and the god men and all the sadhus and rishis and mahatmas and punyatmas and dharmatmas. There are many, plenty. You take from Sai Baba to Swami Vivekananda to Jesus Christ to to the Pope to a whole lot of saints all over the world to Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. There's so many. And then there's another level of deities, Sri Rama, Sri Sita, Krishna, all this. So many. Now there are more different level of people where, they're not mentioned anywhere, but then they're quite famous because of the knowledge they, speak about and they share. Let us try to understand all of them. All of them, whether they're deities, whether they're Mahatmas, Dharmatmas, Punyatmas, and Great Atmas, whatever, all the pictures you may be having in your house, all the autobiographies you must have read, all the stories you must have, all of them are children of one God. Like in a family, if you see there are parents and some children are very good. You don't have to tell them how to be. They automatically take care of the parents and they become very responsible and they're very, they glorify the parents' name. There are some like that. And there are some that don't. They just live ordinary. But the varieties are there. So this whole world of variety of God's children. But none of them are gods. Right? If you do something good, you perform any good action, you'd say, aap devta jaise ho dese. You're like a deity. You helped me so much in the right time. They will never say you're like God. No. Deities are like, when you worship a deity, devta, you have the image, their statue or something in your house. So along with them, you also place your grandparents' pictures also, who are no more. So Shad ke din hote na, the days when we remember the departed. So we keep those photos with the deities and we apply tilak to them as we apply tilak to the deities. We give aarti to the deities, same thing, same naivedyam, like same what you call as food that you offer, like bhog, and the same thing you offer to other deities and to your grandparents, same thing you do. If you have the pictures in some houses, you apply tilak, you put mala, same way like how you do for the deities. That means to say, the worship of a deity is the worship of your ancestor. If I were to ask you, you will say your mother had more tolerance than you. If you ask your mother will say that her mother had more tolerance than her. And so on and so forth, to keep going back, thousands of years ago, there used to be deities who lived and they were embodiment of all the divine qualities. That we remember them even till today. We worship their qualities. But they are not God. They are not God. They are children of God. All of them are children of God. Jesus Christ said, "Oh Lord." Swami Vivekananda said, "Oh, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is my God." But Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, "No, Kali is God." So everybody is looking up. And all of them, how is it that they are not God? What defines God? There are two main aspects that defines God. The ones who have a body is not God. That's the main first principle. Everyone, I told you about the 5 principles, and the main one is it doesn't have a body. He doesn't have a body. And second thing is where he lives. If you do not have a body, and you're not in the cycle of life and death and disease and death, and you don't live on this earth, you live above, then you're God. And he's a father. He's the father of the whole world, all the souls. So he's always giving. He doesn't take anything. So that these are the 3 important things that you have to pay attention to if you really want to know God. If I were to just mention to you, oh, God is in Panjagutta, or he is in Vishakhapatnam, you will say, what are you talking, sister? What do you mean he's in Vishakhapatnam and he's in Hyderabad and he's in Mumbai? You won't like it. So God is not omnipresent then. You don't even like me mentioning to you that you will laugh if I tell God is in Panjagutta. Imagine you're saying that God is in the table, in the fan, and in the light, and in the bar, market. No. God is not everywhere. He's not omnipresent. He's omnipotent. This has to be underlined. He's omnipotent, means he's very powerful. But he is not omnipresent. He's not everywhere, anywhere. He's not within you. He's not within me. Because he can't be within me. Just being within me and not changing me, not helping me, not stopping me when I'm doing something wrong. What is the use for him to be inside me? That doesn't make sense. As I said, the main first principle in knowing God is logic, not blind faith. It has been written in scriptures. Who wrote the scriptures? Human beings, no? Isn't it? But when they wrote, there was a meaning in it. That do we know the meaning? They said, see, God is watching you. Be careful. For a layman, they wanted to make it very, easy for them to understand that he's everywhere. Huh? He's watching you. Don't do wrong. That's how they would tell the children. But they made it literally like he's penetrating in the walls and penetrating in, things around. No, he doesn't. He doesn't penetrate anywhere. Where is he then? He is the one who's called to be, said to be Trikaldarshi. He is the father of the 3 lands. He knows the 3 aspects of time, the past, the present, and the future. He knows all the 3 aspects at the same time. He's also said to be Trimurti, that is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. He knows the first thing is he establishes, he destroys, he sustains. God, God, generator, operator, destroyer. He establishes new sanskaras, destroys the old, and sustains the new. And then I said, where is he? I say he is Trilokinath. He is the father of the 3 lands. Now this is where we are in this world. And this is what we call as a subtle region. And beyond the subtle region is the land of light, or it is called Param Dham, It is also called Mool Vatan. It is called also Param Dham, where Paramatma resides here. This is called the physical world, the subtle world, and the incorporeal world, because there are no bodies here. This is the home of all souls, and this is also the home of God. The subtle region is a region where there are just movement in the body of light, and there's absolutely no mass and flesh and nothing. This is just the body of light, of perfection, which the Christians call it the world of angels. So here we are, here is where God is, and here is where the home of all souls. They come from here. This is beyond the universe. Yeah. So this particular land is what we say, jahan se aaye wahan wapas jana, where we came from, we have to go back. So we have to know where we came from, no? So this is where we came from. And this is where God is. And whatever religion, whatever country, wherever we may be, but we all come from here. But when we are here, it is complete silence. Absolutely, there is no talk there. That is why it's called Nirvanadam by Jains. Nirvani, mana, no words. Now we are here, and God is here. Is here, right here. So is to connect to Him. The process of connecting to Him, if we cannot go physically here, so through our intellect, we connect to Him and take strength from Him, is what is meditation. It's a method of meditation, which I will teach you tomorrow. So those who could not come today, what is the problem? Mm. Oh, internet problem. Mm-hmm. Because then they get discontinued. Because this is a flow of classes. You cannot afford to miss the classes. You know what I mean? Hmm? If you have any questions, you can ask me. You are here in this world, the physical world, and God is in incorporeal world. Hmm? He is not a punishing God. They say I'm God fearing. No, you don't have to fear God. He is always loving, always giving, always forgiving. He's your father. Hmm. People out there will not forgive, but He is God. He's your father. If God is your prime minister, if father is your prime minister, you don't need appointment na, through secretary. You go right inside and say, hello, father, how is everything, you know? So you have a rightful relationship with him. You don't need to beg, please give me this, please give me that. You just go and take from him. Mm. But the thing is, nowadays, what is happening is people are getting caught up with secretaries. So-called secretaries. Some are saying, I'm only God. Some are saying, you please, I'll give you appointment with God. No, no, I don't want God. You only the God. So people are getting stuck with this Godman in between. So much confusion and so much, you know, turmoil is going on. At this time, we need strength. We just don't need a lot of knowledge because we've heard enough. So many books we've read and everything. Now we need to connect to Him and take strength. So God is trying to connect to us. A lot of people say, I'm calling God, but I can't connect. No, the thing is, frequency should be there. No, something commonality should be there to have connection. If they say 99.1 or whatever the FM, it has to be 99.1. If you cannot connect to, they can't tune in. How will you hear to that a particular programs or songs in that particular FM? Same way, if you are not at all, in tune with God, and you are busy with so many things and you're not even trying to connect, how will He give you strength? Even if you wants to. Radio is repaired. If there's a problem in the radio, you get it repaired. You don't blame All India Radio. No? You can't. So that is why it is important that I prepare myself. Meditation is to prepare myself so that I can receive strength from Him. Because He loves me. There is no question about that. He loves me immensely. There's nobody in this world who can love me. I can't love myself so much as much He loves. It is just not imagination. People keep singing praise of His love. That means they must have experienced at some time in their life somewhere. So we have to take that from Him, no? There's a right method for it, and I will teach you that method tomorrow. How to connect to Him and take strength from Him. Take out time and listen. Okay. So today homework, 3 homeworks yesterday I gave you, please. I hope you all did it. Now today's homework is that talk to God. That the image has to be accurate. How he looks, just the point of light. You have an image of God. We call God Baba. Baba means father, Nana, Tandri, Papa. What else is there? Dad. Like that. It's very informal. He's no formalities required. Hey Prabhu, hey Ishwar. No, he's our father. So, this is how he looks. This is Baba. This is your father. He's a point of light. This is all not God. This is God. This is your father. Because you are also a soul. He's a father of all souls. So this is God. That is supreme soul. Supreme soul. Okay. So, okay. You can ask me, or else we'll have a 2 minutes of silence and some commentary. I'll give you some thoughts. You let your mind go with the thoughts that I give you. Get all your attention back here. All your thoughts which are scattered around, collect them and bring them back to this moment, to now. I remind myself that I am a soul, a point of light behind my forehead. And I have come from a world of silence beyond the universe and beyond all limitations. And my Father is the one who lives in that land of silence. As I am a point of light, so is He. But He is the Father of all the souls on this earth. He is the ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of purity, ocean of mercy. He is my father, mother, friend, and teacher. I am under His canopy of protection and blessings. For He is the one who gives me strength and purpose. I stay in this awareness that I am the child of God. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om